Hello guys, how are you? My name is Isaac and welcome to my language channel. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. I have a question guys. Why do you think that there are some people who understand English quite well but they cannot speak the language? That's a good question and perhaps you might be in a similar situation. Actually there are several answers for this question. However, the most important one is because we lack practice. In other words, we need to speak more. There are four skills in language acquisition: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And we have to learn and develop these abilities in this fashion. Plus, a very important thing, we have to work on every single skill separately. For example, if we have listening comprehension and we have speaking, these are two different abilities. Not because you watch a lot of videos on YouTube or you do a lot of listenings or you do some reading, that means that you're going to improve your speaking abilities. You have to work on your speaking in order to do better. And well, I am Mexican, perhaps you're also Mexican, or you might have any other nationality, but very likely you might be Latin American just like myself. As Latin Americans, of course, we share something in common: language, right? We speak Spanish basically for everything, for going to school, taking classes, going to work, for all our social interactions with our family, our friends, our relatives, for all the different activities around the city, like going to the bank, going to a restaurant, going to a mall, and so forth. Uh, and well, if you're an English student, you might dedicate like around 5 hours per week in order to develop your English skills. Okay. However, you have to divide this time among four skills. Okay, plus grammar. So that means that you end up dedicating only 1 hour to your speaking abilities. 1 hour per week. Okay, so basically that's nothing. So that's the reason why you cannot speak as fluently as you wish. Okay, what's the solution? The solution is practicing. We have to practice more. And well, I mentioned something important here. We have to work on every single ability separately. Okay, let me give you an example. Perhaps you're into fitness. Perhaps you go to a gym like every week. Let's say that you go to the gym like 4 times a week. Okay, so when you go to a gym, of course, you train different body parts. Let's say that you train your arms, you do biceps, triceps, shoulders, chest, and you love it, right? You might want to get in shape or lose weight or gain weight, okay? However, when it's time for training your legs, when it's leg day, you go, oh my God, I don't want to do that. I don't like to do legs. Many people don't like to train their legs. So what do? You skip leg day, okay? And the following week, you do the same, right? And after several months, and even after a year, you can see your improvement. You can see your muscles. You can see your biceps, your triceps. But when you take a look at your legs, they're very skinny. They are not developed. Yeah, you have like chicken legs. Does that sound familiar to you? Have you seen that in the gym? Yeah, it's very common to see people with very thin legs and with a body. It's the same with language, right? We have to work every single ability separately. Otherwise, we will lag behind. Okay? Uh, that's a very important thing. You might say, well, that's true, but I don't have anyone to practice my English with. I mean, like, with whom can I practice? I mean, at home, I am the only one who's interested in learning English. My mom doesn't speak English. My dad doesn't like English either. My brother hates English. My sister is into some other things in life. So I don't have anyone to practice with. Well, you have to find a speaking partner. It could be a friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be anyone who's interested in practicing English, okay? And well, it doesn't have to be like someone who has a higher level than you. It could be even someone who has a lower level, okay? You can become like a tutor to this person, okay? By tutoring this person, you will help him or you will help her and you will also increase your speaking abilities. So it's like a win-win situation. Um, Something else. You might say, okay, well, that's a good solution, but I don't know that many people, and I'm always at home by myself. What can I do? No worries. You can use the mirror technique. The mirror technique is a technique where you grab a mirror, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you basically start speaking. You will articulate words. Obviously, you will see how you move your mouth, your lips, how you position your tongue, let's say between your teeth. Okay. Plus, a very important thing, by looking at yourself in the mirror, you will gain confidence. Okay. You will see uh, your image. Okay. You will look at yourself, and little by little, you will gain more confidence. So that's a very important thing. Another thing that you can do is speaking with a pet, with a cat, with a doggy. I'm pretty sure that if you have a doggy or a cat, I mean a pet in other words, you speak with this animal, right? We do it in Spanish all the time, right? I have a female doggy at home, a female doggy, a female cat, sorry. I have a female cat at home, and I speak with her uh, every day, okay? So you can do the same, yeah, in English. And by doing that, of course, you will improve your speaking abilities. You will start making sentences, you will start pronouncing words, you will remember words, of course, and that will help you a lot, okay? You can do it on a daily basis, and believe me, after several weeks, you will see how much your English improves. Another thing, you can use the shadowing technique. What is shadowing? Shadowing is basically imitating other people. This is something that we do naturally because we learn by imitating, okay? And that's the way you learned Spanish, by imitating your parents. So you can look for a video on YouTube, okay, a video that you like, and try to imitate the person on the video, okay. Now it's like even easier because you have the subtitles. Like now, for example, you have the subtitles, you listen to the person and you read at the same time. The only thing that is important here is to not get distracted, because you might read the subtitles as you read them in Spanish. So don't do that. You have to listen to the person carefully and imitate how the person speaks, not how the words or the sentences are written on the screen. You have to imitate how the person speaks. That's a very important thing, okay? What else? Well, sometimes we are afraid of speaking, and that's understandable because, you know, being afraid of something is something natural. Confidence is very important. Confidence is a big word, okay. Confidence comes when two elements are combined: knowledge and practice. Knowledge means all the things that you have in your head, all the things that you have learned. If you have studied English for a certain time, I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of knowledge. Probably you don't have enough practice, so you need to balance, okay, both um, both things, okay. So you have your knowledge in your head, of course, and you can have enough practice, okay. That's a very important thing. In English we use two words: input and output, okay. Input is basically all the things that you put into your head, the things that you have learned, books that you have read, classes that you have taken, conversations that you have listened to, videos that you have watched, grammar that you have studied, for example, all the things that you put into your head. And output, which is the opposite, is basically all the things that you express through your mouth. How you describe things, how you ask questions, for example, the answers that you give, of course, the stories that you tell, the experiences that you share with people, the feelings that you express as well, all the things that come out of your mouth. I mean, that's output. So we need balance between both of them. That's a very important thing. Um, and well, continuing with fear. Okay, sometimes we are afraid of speaking because we are concerned about what other people might think about us. Okay, you might say, well, I feel kind of nervous when I speak because uh, people might criticize me. That's not a good thing. Okay, people will not criticize you, especially if you're speaking or you're learning a language. Okay, listen, sometimes we're afraid because we might say, okay, what if I mispronounce this word? What if I make a mistake in grammar? What if I use the incorrect word or expression? What if they laugh at me because of the way I speak, because of my accent? Don't worry about that, okay? If you are in a school, uh, in most cases, people will not laugh at you because they're also students, okay? Sometimes you'll find a negative person, a stupid person who will criticize you. Ignore those kind of people. That's a very important thing. A, a very important thing to mention as well is that, guys, you are going to make mistakes. Obviously, we are human beings. Yeah. So making mistakes is part of the learning process. Don't worry about making mistakes. You're going to learn from the mistakes that you make. Okay. So don't worry. It is part of the learning process. So don't worry about it. Okay. I make mistakes as well. I mean, I'm a teacher. I make mistakes. Of course, the idea is to make corrections every time that you make a mistake. That's a very important thing. Even professional athletes, Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, Messi, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, those professional athletes, they have made a lot of mistakes, believe me, but they always have learned from their mistakes. So don't worry about that, okay? And another thing, sometimes people want to be like perfectionists. Avoid being a perfectionist because it's the same thing. You will be frustrated every time that you make a mistake, okay? And that's not a good thing. Remember, you're going to make mistakes. So don't try to be perfect. We are not perfect. I'm not perfect. Are you perfect? Nobody is. God is perfect. He's perfect, but we're not, okay? So don't worry about that, okay? So try to avoid being a perfectionist and just work every single day on your skills. And the goal is to become better, not to become perfect. Something else, perfection is not the goal. Our goal is communication, okay? And well, the last thing that I can mention, guys, is that sometimes we think that we need a lot of English in order to speak. We don't need a lot of English. We just need enough English to communicate, okay? I have taught English for many years, and many times I have taught course one. Course one, it's basic English, super basic. And on the very first day, I usually start with uh, introductions, my name is, what's your name, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and on the very first day, my students speak. Yeah. And how can I do it? Because I explain something and I make my students speak like right away. Okay. So if a course one student can speak, you can also do it. If you're watching this video, it's because your understanding is pretty good. So I'm pretty sure that you can speak much better than what you do. Okay. That's important. And well, I have a challenge for you guys. Okay, what if you start speaking every day for 15 minutes? Let's say that Monday through Friday, okay? You start next Monday, okay? You start speaking English for 50 minutes, okay? And you do the same throughout the week, okay? So every day, Monday through Friday, you speak for 15 minutes. If you want to speak like 20 minutes, that'll be even better, right? But let's start with 15, okay? 15 minutes. And let's say that you speak English for a month. I mean, and you're constant, you're disciplined, you will improve your English a lot, believe me. Okay? You can say, oh, yeah, let's do it. I'm very motivated. Yeah, let's go for it. Guys, motivation only lasts for a certain time. Motivation goes up and down. Here, what we need is this: we need three important pillars for doing this: discipline, consistency, and commitment. I repeat, discipline, consistency, and commitment. If you have these three pillars, you can do it, okay? Because motivation can go down, okay? So if you're committed, guys, to take this challenge, you can start this Monday. Okay, start this Monday by speaking for around 15 minutes. Okay, and be constant. Believe me, be constant and disciplined, and you will get it. Okay, after a month, you can write in comments how you're doing, and if you want to extend this to 3 months, that'll be even greater. In 3 months, believe me, your speaking abilities will improve a lot. Will you take the challenge? Okay, if you want to do it, just let me know, write it in the comments. And well, that's basically it, guys. That's basically it. And well, I hope my advice, my tips can help you a little bit to improve your English. And well, thank you, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you can watch the next video. And well, thank you. That's it, and see you next time. Hasta la vista, baby.